Hi, so in today's video I'm going to be using the colour coach again. Now I've done another video on my channel where I used the colour coach and made a card. So this time I decided I wanted to use Melon Mambo. So I've gone to the colour coach. This is a free resource that you can print from my website. And the colours that it says here that will go with Melon Mambo I'm going to use now. I've got my Melon Mambo ink. It says Granny Apple Green, but I've decided I'm just going to switch that up a bit and I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz, Night of Navy and Pool Party. So that's the colours I'm going to use. The stamp sets that I'm going to use are the Beauty Abounds, which is in our annual catalogue, and I'm going to use this design. I'm also going to use the Speckles from the same stamp set, and then from Floral Essence, which is also in our new annual catalogue, I'm going to use this flower and the leaf. So to save some time, I've mounted those up on my blocks already, and I'm just going to open up the ink pads. So I've got a piece of A4 Whisper White regular cardstock. Now the last time I did some all over stamping, I think I made bookmarks. This time I'm going to try and make some card fronts. So I've got some scrap paper here, so we'll see how we go. So I'm going to use this design and I'm going to stamp this in the Pool Party. And I'm going to stamp on the diagonal. And then I'm just going to come off the page like so. And then I'm going to leave a gap and I'm going to go off the page and then carry on. No idea how this is going to turn out. I'm just taking you along. So I think that'll do for that one. So I'm just going to put that to one side. Then the speckles I'm going to do in the Night of Navy, but I'm just going to stamp them off and see how dark it is. That's not too bad actually, but I don't know whether to do them now. In fact, I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to do my flowers. So I'm going to bring in the flower and I'm using the Melon Mambo. I'm just going to stamp it off just to see. So I'm going to do one and then another one. I might just leave that for now. I've got ink all over my fingers, so I'm going to clean this particular stamp, because that's the Melon Mambo and it's the darkest colour, and I'll probably end up with it all over my work. So now I'm going to bring in the green and do the leaves. And then I'm going to bring in the speckles and I'm going to do the Night of Navy. Not sure how this is going to look at all, to be perfectly honest. I think I'm going to do some more speckles, but I'm going to stamp off twice and then fill in. That's looking okay. I'm thinking I might just add a few more bits, so let me see what else I can use. And I might use this and see how this looks. I'm just going to stamp it off just to see what it looks like. I think I need a smaller block. So I'm going to ink it up, stamp it off and then fill in. I think I just need to put the middles of the flowers in and find the little middle, and then I'm going to use the Melon Mambo again and I'm just going to fill in the gaps. Okay, so that's how that's looking. I think I'm going to leave it there, although I've just noticed a splodge, so I might have to do something about that. I've just got the little dots from Beauty Abounds, and let's try this in Melon Mambo. Let's stamp off and then fill in. I think that might do it now. I think I'll call that done. So I'll just tidy all the inks away before I stick my fingers in them again, and then I'll come back in a minute and show you what I'm hoping to do with them. Okay, so here, this is how we're looking so far. So just to recap, from the Floral Essence, I used the small flower with the flower centre. I used this leaf and this outline leaf. And then from Beauty Abounds, I used the bigger kind of flourish design, the speckles and the small little, I think they're called bokeh dots from memory. So that's what to use from those. I've got some Night of Navy cardstock, which is, I think, what I'm going to use as my card bases. I'm going to chop this piece of card down to 11.5 inches. And then I'm going to cut it in half at 4 1/8. Just double check that, because I think it's 8 1/4. So I'm going to cut it at 4 1/8. I may cut it again in a few minutes, but just for now. And I'm going to cut this in half now at 5 3/4. So that's my 4 pieces. I'm going to fold my Night of Navy in half. And burnish it. And then I'm going to see how much I want to cut off these to make them fit on the front. So I think I'm going to cut them at 5 5/8. But I'm going to turn it that way around because I want to get these pink flowers in. 5/8. Let's just see. And then this is 4 1/8. So I'm going to take this down to 3 7/8, I think. Let me see how that looks. Yeah, so I'm going to cut all the pieces down to 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. So I'm just going to fold these cards in half. You can score them if you want to, but just to save a little bit of time, I'm just going to fold them and burnish them with my bone folder. I wouldn't do this with the thick Whisper White because it is very thick and that really does need scoring. So I'm going to have a look and see whether I want them all in this orientation or whether I'm going to do some this way. So they might just all work better in one orientation, but then you never know, they might look good. You see that one looks okay that way, so I might do that one that way. That one that way. I think this one's going to look better upright. And that one that way, I think. Like so. So I think I'll stick them down flat And then all as they really need is a greeting, I think. I don't think they really need anything else. So I'm going to use snail. And I'm just going to centre them as best I can. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. 2 cards going this way and 2 cards opening this way. So now I'm going to find a greeting and see what I can do with the cards. So I've decided I'm going to use with friendly thoughts and best wishes today and every day from the Floral Essence, and this is photopolymer. So I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat, which I've got wrapped in copy paper, and I'm going to stamp this on some scrap Whisper White, and I'm going to stamp it in Night of Navy. Yeah, and I'm just going to stamp it 4 times. I'm just going to spread them out because I'm not sure how wide. That one wasn't very straight. That's another crooked one. I mean, I could trim them with my trimmer, but I'm just trying to make myself a little less work. So if I bring my paper trimmer in, and just trim these down, I think now. So let's see, 1/2 inch. So I'll trim the ends. I don't know whether to make them a banner or, let's see. Might do them all like this, I think. So I cut close to the day. And then, I mean, they're not all going to be the same because obviously they're handmade, aren't they? You know, so I'm not going to get them all perfectly the same. Right, let's see. just going to cut, see how they look. Yeah, that's not too bad. So this is 5/8. So I'm thinking I might do something like this. So let's cut these first. Or do I just put them on top like that? I might just do that actually. I might leave a bit more sticking out than I need. Maybe do something like that. So let's have a look. I'm going to use dimensionals. And this is one of the ones that's opening this way, so I think I'm going to stick it here. Like so. And then I'll get one of the ones that's opening from the top. And I'll put that down the bottom the same, I think. So there are my 4 cards. Do they need anything else? In my scrap, bring in my shimmer mist and just catch that on the card. Not sure how well you're going to see this. You might not see it at all. It's gone very dark all of a sudden, but there is a very subtle sparkle. So I've got 2 cards that open in this orientation and 2 cards that open in this orientation. So the only thing I would do now, I've got a piece of white copy paper. I'm going to use some snail, just apply some glue on the top, and then position that inside my card, just up to the fold, but not on it. I'm leaving about a 1/16 of an inch. And that way when you open it, it will open with it. And I'm going to do that on each of the cards. So there are my 4 cards, just made from my own background design using 2 stamp sets and some card. So I hope you like the project. Please give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't already do so, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.